Welcome and thank you for joining this webinar. I am Bibi Khatun, the Communications Officer at the GNBS, and with me is Mr. Al Fraser, the Head of our Business Development Department, and we will be talking to you about accreditation. I will first like to ask our viewers, do you know what is accreditation? I hope this is what you are thinking. Accreditation is the highest level of third-party approval that a laboratory reaches when it gets the requirements of an international standard. It gives that stamp of approval which says the results from that laboratory are accurate and reliable. Why are we talking about accreditation today? Yesterday was World Accreditation Day, which was observed under the theme Accreditation, Sustainability in Economic Growth and the Environment. The theme highlights how accreditation supports various sustainable development goals established by the United Nations by constantly reviewing and evolving processes to ensure that the right tools are available to support the SDGs, both now and moving forward. For your information, the 17 SDGs include goals to reduce poverty, reduce hunger, ensure good health and well-being of the population, ensure there is quality education and gender equality, and providing clean water and sanitation, along with affordable and clean energy. Mr. Fraser, the GNBS is the National Accreditation Focal Point, and your department works with organizations and businesses to ensure that they meet the requirements of national and international standards. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Thank you, Bibi, and good day to all our listeners across various media. Please allow me to first extend a warm accreditation greeting to all our listeners. It gives me great pleasure to talk to you about accreditation. Accreditation is the independent evaluation by an authoritative body of conformity assessment bodies against a recognized national and international standard, which are carried out, which carry specific activities in order to ensure the integrity, the impartiality, and competence. Some of the common standards which company can be accredited to is the ISO IEC 17025. We have the ISO IEC 17020 standard. We have the ISO 171706 standard, and of course we have the ISO IEC 17043 standard. And last but not least, we have the standard for the medical labs, which is the ISO 15189 standard, which determines competent. Now, bring you back home, within the Business Development Department, we have a team of competent staff who provides training on various national standards to companies, which are geared towards boosting their competence of personnel desirous of pursuing accreditation. Additionally, the Business Development Department offers technical assistance to these organizations to develop the necessary documents. We can provide training and technical assistance to any organization regardless of the type or the size of the organization to ensure that they are accreditation ready.
I must ask, what type of businesses or companies, who can get accredited? Who can you work with to get to that level of accreditation?
All right, accreditation, companies involved in testing, companies involved in inspection, and companies involved in certification can be accredited to any one of the international standards. Depending on what they're doing, that's how they can be accredited, these various standards. Some of the standards that I just list out, yes.
For that, and why should organizations work towards accreditation for our viewers who are looking?
Good question, Bibi. Accreditation determines the technical competence and the integrity of the organization offering conformity assessment service. And some of these services includes testing, certification, inspection, and calibration. Now, accreditation is used to verify the compliance with specific standard and is an impartial and objective process conducted by third parties. So customers, the stakeholders, and the persons right, relying on these activities can rest assured that the results and the service offered by an accredited company are accurate and reliable.
Thank you, Mr. Fraser. We will now take a short ad break.
Accreditation, delivering confidence in everyday life. We have confidence in our everyday life. We are confident that the products we use on a daily basis are safe to use. We can be reassured because there is a system in place. It's called accreditation. And this is how it works. Whether it's at home, work or leisure, there are products and services that must conform to global regulations and standards. Testing, inspection and certification services assess these products for conformity against standards. Accreditation demonstrates the competence, impartiality and capability of these organizations, thereby delivering confidence in goods and services placed on the market. Throughout the world, from agriculture to healthcare, to construction, the environment and energy, accreditation declares the technical competence and integrity of these organizations. Businesses use accredited services as they are making an informed choice and can rely on the test results, inspection reports or certifications they receive. Many businesses choose to be accredited as they recognize the benefits that accreditation can provide, such as the opportunity to compete on a level playing field with larger competitors, win new tenders for business, and retain existing customers. Regulators can set the overall policy or technical requirements and rely on accredited testing, inspection, or certification to ensure compliance. Consumers can have confidence that suppliers and retailers have taken all due diligence to provide safe and legal products for consumption. Accreditation demonstrates the competence, impartiality, and independence that results and reports can be relied on. Accreditation is worldwide, with national accreditation bodies established in most economies. The structure of global accreditation is divided into two levels: the regional level and the global level by ILAC and the IAF. Accreditation, delivering confidence in everyday life.
Welcome back, and if you've now joined us, we're talking about accreditation for World Accreditation Day 2022. And with me is Mr. Fraser, the head of our Business Development Department, and I am Bibi Katoon, Communications Officer at the GNBS. Mr. Fraser, GNBS Measurement Laboratories earlier this year achieved accreditation to the ISO IEC 17025 standard, and you work along with this laboratory. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how was the process?
Oh, thank you, Bibi, for that question. And yes, I will have worked along with the IMT department to get them accreditation ready. The process for us commenced where we have to develop the necessary documentation to ensure it meets the requirements of the ISO IEC 17025 standard. That was followed by rigorous training sessions which ensures that the officers are competent in the specific areas to which their scope of accreditation would rely on. Followed by that, then we had a series of testing. They had to provide some testing and so forth to ensure that they are performing the test as in conformance with the requirements, because accreditation wholly and solely relies on competence of the officers. Thereafter, once they would have satisfied the requirements for testing and the necessary documentation, then we would have applied to the accreditation body for accreditation.
So this was a major achievement, getting accredited.
Indeed, it was a major achievement for the Ghana National Bureau of Standards, because now we can boast that we have the competence in particular areas, so the person can rest assured that the test results from the IMT lab, they're certain about the results.
I'm sure after all of this information, our viewers are asking themselves, why accreditation? Can you share with them some benefits of achieving accreditation?
Okay, so some of the benefits of accreditation. Accreditation can decrease the risk and the liability costs. Accreditation also provides accurate and reliable test results which can withstand scrutiny and reduce errors in lab. So accreditation is not all about who is best, but who has a system and standard procedures, and the test can outstand the scrutiny.
Okay, and on that point, would you like to encourage more of our stakeholders to work towards accreditation and use our services in this regard?
Definitely yes. I would want to encourage all stakeholders to pursue accreditation. since accreditation gives confidence to all of your customers, all of your stakeholders, and the general public that the test or the service that you're offering, right, is of value, it meets the required standard, and it can withstand any scrutiny regardless which part of the world you may go. Because accreditation is the international recognition. Thank you, Bibi.
Thank you for staying with us. And before we go, I must tell you that there are currently 5 laboratories in Guyana that are accredited. That is the Guyana Rice Development Board Laboratory, the Government Analyst Food and Drug Department Laboratory, the Woodlands Pathology Laboratory, Eureka Medical Laboratories Inc., and Dr. Balwant Singh Laboratory. Now, before we go, you can contact us on 219-0064-66 or message us on WhatsApp on 692-4627 for further information on our services, whether it's training, consultancy, verification, calibration, or even to view a national standard and to get information on the standards available. You can visit our website or you can visit our Facebook page where we constantly provide updates on everything that you need to know. Thank you again.